Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you all are fine and doing good. Guys, this is the last part in part 4 of our topic photosynthesis and the carbon cycle. In the previous part, we discussed the carbon cycle. Let's give a quick review. The carbon cycle is a cycle in which carbon dioxide gets into things for different things or in different ways and then again gets back in the air. If you are not sure with that or you want the explanation for the carbon cycle, go watch my part 3 and you can clear your queries there. But for now, let's start with our topic, climate change. So climate change is a quite big topic and we're gonna have two parts. So this is part 4.1. Let's go.
Rohan is a good boy. He is 12 years old. He is in grade 7. So you are using he in place of Rohan. Am I right? So what is pronoun when you are using in place of noun?
The first topic we are introduced with in climate change is greenhouse
subject pronoun and object pronoun.
gases.
Okay?
So greenhouse gases, I hope that all of us that are aware of this thing known as greenhouse gases. Greenhouse gases comprise of the main are
I am a boy. Am I right?
carbon
You
dioxide,
can't write like Zephyr is a boy. No, I am a boy because you are talking about yourself.
and
So you can use
methane.
You, for example, maybe he or she is your brother. Maybe he or she is your sister. Maybe he or she is your mother or father.
Without any carbon dioxide in the atmosphere at all, the earth would be a frozen place, unable to support life. But at the moment, we have too much carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. So, scientists study that we all know that carbon dioxide heats up the surface of the earth or heats up any surface, and due to the carbon dioxide in our surface, the earth is at a moderate temperature as always. It is not too hot or not too cold. However, the amount of carbon dioxide is increasing day per day, which causes the earth's temperature to rise per day.
For the living thing and non-living thing, but it is using for animals, things.
Temperature
birds.
is rising,
Okay, if you are talking about any bird.
and if I told you that it was a very small amount of temperature rising, for example 0.2 degrees per year or 0.2 degrees per 100 years, you would think that this is a very small amount and would not affect a person's life. However, there are many changes due to the greenhouse gases, such as glaciers are melting faster, there is more global warming, there are more forest fires than there used to be usually.
Tiger, lion is there, so you can use it. But if you are talking about two or more animals,
It takes a long time to form fossils, and they can then stay buried in the ground for millions of years. But if we extract them and burn them, we release carbon in them into the air in the form of carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide levels in the atmosphere are increasing. This is affecting the climate on Earth. Now let's talk about the The ways climate changed of Earth in the past, how it did, when it did, how long it hit. So first, talking about climate change in the past, first thing which comes in our mind is the ice age. So the around 2 billion years ago,
I have given object pronoun in that worksheet which I have sent you. Have you seen it?
the Earth
Subject pronoun,
experienced the first
object pronoun.
ice age that we know about. Since then, the Earth has cycled between relatively warm periods and relatively cold ones. In the warm periods, there was no ice at all, even at the poles. In the cooler periods, called ice ages, there were ice at the poles. So, ice age usually refers that 2 billion years ago, there were two kinds of periods on Earth which it used to go through every year or every 2 years, every 3 years. One of it was the warm period. And this warm means that there was no ice at all. Like even at the poles, the places which are always hot, the places which are always cold, their temperature is in minus degrees, they still had no ice.
I was working with
However,
him.
in the colder periods, there
What
was
is object
ice.
pronoun in this sentence?
Please, refrain from my writing. I use my hand. I have a touch laptop. I use my hand to write. So that's why it's kind of messy. But I speak what I write, and I speak in detail. So please, thank you.
What is object pronoun in this sentence?
Next in our mind is snowball Earth.
No, I is not
On
a
at
subject,
least one
object
occasion,
pronoun.
perhaps
It's a
about
subject pronoun. Do you have that
650
worksheet which I
million
sent
years
you,
ago.
which I was making myself? Do you have? What is written on the top? No, not object pronoun. What is written on the top? Subject pronoun or object pronoun? Am I right? एक जगह लिखा हुआ है subject pronoun, the other side it is written
So around at
object
650 million years
If you are talking
ago,
about subject pronoun, this is
the
I.
whole Earth
But
was
if you are
covered
talking
with
about
ice and
object
snow.
pronoun, this is
Scientists
me.
call
I
it
का me
the
होता है. Am I right?
snowball Earth or
ठीक है?
sometimes
But
slush
my
ball Earth
example is
because they
I
are
was
sure
working
whether
with him.
everything was
What is
completely
object
frozen.
pronoun in
Slush
this
is
sentence?
melting ice. Scientists still do not completely understand what caused this to happen. This is what the Earth may have looked like 650 million years ago. At that time, the continents were not in the same positions as now. As I told you this, so let me show you what I mean with this.
Loudly. Ieman, Zephyr, where are you?
So this is how the Earth looked like during the snowball age, which was about 650 million years ago. Next is asteroids
Hello?
collided with each other. So about 420 million years ago, scientists think that two asteroids collided with another, and when they were in space somewhere in between Earth and Mars. So
Hello?
if this is Earth
GPT, where are you?
and if this is Mars,
बेटा थोड़ी देर में, कितनी देर में थोड़ी देर?
and if
चलो
this
let's
was
see.
Mars,
फिर मैं देखती हूँ बेटा.
sorry, the asteroids collided with each other at this point. This was when the asteroids collided with each other between the planet Earth and Mars. The collision produced huge quantities of dust. So what were the outcomes? Huge quantities of dust the dust reduced amount of light and heat from the sun reaching the Earth's surface. This triggered ice age. The Earth became much colder, the ice caps spread much further from the poles, and sea level fell. So, more ice, Earth was cold, increased ice caps, etc. Next is the most important one, which is when an asteroid collided with the Earth.
Marisha, come here. Come with your Quran. ईमान, आपका दूसरा टॉपिक क्या है चैप्टर 2 का? चैप्टर 2 है ना या 1 ही है सर?
Sequences.
चलो मैं बनी.
Asteroids collided with Earth. Oops. When the asteroids collided was when about 67 million years ago. There was an asteroid which collided itself with Earth, and it is known as It was hit on the coast of Mexico where the asteroid impact took place. There was a huge devastation close to where the asteroid fell. It would have been like a massive bomb exploding with shock waves and very high temperature spreading out from the crater. But the collision affected the whole planet, not just surrounding area. Because it threw huge quantities of rock and dust into the air, it was also have created a massive tsunami, a huge sea wave which could have spread all across the Earth's ocean. The dust in the air meant that less light reached the Earth's surface. Plants could not get photosynthesized, so animals had less food, as well as the disruption of food chains. The Earth became much colder because less heat from the sun could reach the surface. Most people think that the dinosaurs became extinct around this time. Not only the dinosaurs but many other species on Earth. Due to this collision, the asteroids caused a mass extinction, which means when I say mass extinction, this means that it caused vast amount of deaths of people, people meaning the animals like dinosaurs, many plant species. So mass extinction means the kill of many generations of animals and plants. Up to 75% of all species on Earth that were alive at that time are thought to have become extinct because of the asteroid collision. There are about 155 known asteroid impact craters around the world. The crater shown in the picture is in USA. The crater is more than 1 kilometer wide and 170 meter deep. It is estimated that the asteroid collision that formed this crater had happened 50,000 years ago. So, in USA, there is this crater on the Earth's land. It's like this, and the people or estimate that this was the asteroid. This was the asteroid, and it hit the Earth's surface and caused this crater. Crater is like a depth in the Earth's surface. Like when we say there are many craters on the moon, so if this is the moon, there are like many craters over here. This is the surface of the moon. Like it's bumpy. It's like this. It's like straight, bumpy, bumpy, straight, straight, bumpy. The surface of the moon is like this. Ah. You guys, so this is much for this part. I'll see you next time. Bye.